Okay, hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Brandy Janae, aka Queen B, and I'm back with another episode of Who Asked for This? And in case you're wondering who asked for this, let me tell you, absolutely no one. But I'm gonna give it to you anyway, just like it was given to me. This is episode 106, and on this episode, we're going to be talking about these raggedy ass men. And who am I talking about? Well, it's two specific men in question, and that is JR Robinson and Mr. Kirk Frost. Ooh. Before we get into Kirk and Rasheeda of it all, we're going to start with Miss Tamar Braxton and Mr. JR Robinson. Honey, now, last night they decided to put us all in their business while we was just minding our business, okay? Well, apparently Tamar got a charge on her card from the Four Seasons in New Orleans and decided to ask JR if he charged that card. And he said he did. Now, according to JR, because now they both have made statements. And of course, I went down the rabbit hole and listened to them both. And let me give you the synopsis, okay? Basically, these are two people talking to the entire internet who should be talking to each other. And that's why I'm calling JR out for being a raggedy ass man, okay? He had no business going on social media and playing in that girl face yet again. He continues to drag Miss Tamar Braxton. And I know some of you out there probably feel like, oh, well, maybe she deserves it. I'm not sure how you come up with that, but I know that there are a lot of opinions in the world about Tamar, and some of them are not that great. Now, Tamar can be a bit much, and we all know what happened to her. She's had some issues in the public before, and I know she talks a lot about her mental health. But to have somebody throw that in your face and then get on the internet and basically create this narrative like you're going crazy, um, makes you raggedy, raggedy as hell. Okay. Um. So again, Tamar posts a picture. She does a post and delete, very emotional move on her part. She admits that. But somebody caught it. And baby, I just want to know who are the people that's catching these posts and deletes within 5 to 10 and 30 seconds. I mean, geez. I guess they had notifications on or something. So you're able to see when a person posting. That seems like a lot. But clearly these people get paid to do what they do. And luckily for me, I got something to bring to you. So, yeah, so she posted the girl's profile, Instagram post profile. She did say later that she thought she blacked out the lady's name, but the lady got on the post and said that she was wrong. Then JR comes with this video that he needs to defend himself. Again, this just makes you raggedy. I'm not going to use the word sassy. I don't like those types of words. So we're not going to do that. But is it feminine behavior? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Who are the moms that raise these raggedy men? Like, I do want to know that. And I hate to be that way because I'm a mom myself, but baby, we not standing for no raggedy ass men around here. Okay? Tamar. So that's not even all the tea, guys. In these rants, we find out from Tamar, not JR, because he made it clear that he's been single for the last 6 months and they've been working on a friendship. You know, this is what kills me about these men, the raggedy ass men. If you all up in somebody's guts for the last 6 months, but then you turn around and claim yourself as single, you turn around and charge this lady's card to a hotel, and he says it's by accident. I'm kind of like, it would seem to me that if you were this committed to your peace and committed to a friendship and making sure you don't blur any lines, that you would make sure your own credit card was on file. And then for him to play her like it's $1,000, come on. Like, are you kidding me? I wouldn't give a doggone if it was $2. It's my money. I worked for it. And how dare you? Raggedy ass. Anyway, so that's what prompted Tamar to get on and do her video on YouTube. I'll link it in my YouTube video. Go over to YouTube. My YouTube channel is Brandy Janae TV, and you'll find it under this podcast description. I will link both videos if you want to go and watch those. But hey, like I said, it's a conversation they should have been having on the phone. Instead, they were having it on the internet, and I was listening to it. Now I'm here talking to you about it. And like I said, I just really, I hate that Tamar is going through this. JR had the nerve to pull Carlos King's name in it. I don't even he just caught a stray bullet in this whole thing because what does he have to do with anything? What does he have to do with you using that lady's card at the hotel? And then that lady subsequently going off on you because that's what happened. That's what happened. Your birthday just passed. She iced you out. And I get it. We're friends. Oh, excuse me. They are now divorcees because turns out they were married and divorced. And according to Tamar's video, when did she find out she was getting a divorce? On the trip to Turks and Caicos. She said she got an email. I'm thinking maybe you shouldn't have been surprised, and maybe you should thank your lucky stars. I'm not really sure how she got all the way to get married to this guy after he showed up at that basketball game with none other than Tommy Lee from Love and Marriage Atlanta. Excuse me, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. It was at that moment in time that this man had went so far down beneath and slithered all the way up underneath the ground that there was no way you could ever get back to me. And if we was going to do anything, it's going to be on your credit card. Okay? Because won't no mistakes be made about, oops, I accidentally charged your card, friend. Don't be mad, friend. It's only $900, friend. Friend, you better get your mind right. I don't know who taught this man that, but this is what I wish for them. Now that they are officially divorced, before we even knew they were married, I want JR to go back into his corner of the world before Queen's Court ever was thought of, before it ever came on, before we ever knew who JR was, because I don't like the way he playing with Tamar. And if she do have mental health issues, it's not cool for you to sit up and agitate them. You are the weakest link. Ain't nothing cool about that. That's what make you raggedy. That's what make you raggedy. So anyway, back to what I want him to do. Go back to your corner of the world. Go back to defending your clients and winning your cases. Go back to wearing your suits. This newfound fame you got, whether you like it or not, you owe it to Tamar. Because while we still dealing with y'all, we don't know where them other two guys at. Who were they again? Right. And here you are still here. As a matter of fact, please don't let there be a season 2 of Queen's Court because this did not work. And it is not aging well. Okay? With that being said, we're going to move right along to the Rasheeda and Kirk of it all on this Love and Hip Hop ATL. Baby, bye. Why on this latest episode? Jasmine finally shows up somewhere where she can confront Kirk and Rasheeda together. Okay? Now here's what I haven't liked about Jasmine this whole season. Ever since she showed up on the scene, baby, the camera can't even say action before you just spilling out all your guts. It feels a little vindictive, right? It feels like, yeah, you and Kirk been doing what y'all do, and maybe not on a huge regular basis, but maybe here and there, and everything's been fine. Yet something has changed, and I believe Rashida's at least point of view of it, because that's the way you're acting. Like something has changed in between these years that everything was going good, and now, which to me is you want more, and there's not more that anybody's gonna give you because I think that Kurt and Rashida probably share their finances. And so it may be a little hard for him to explain why he's giving you X, Y, and Z, even though he's giving you probably a little D. And he probably thinking that should be okay. But I guess with the opening of new restaurants and things, um, people's desires change. Maybe she wanted a little more. That's what it's given. That's the tease that it's giving me from watching this season. But like I said, every time she get on camera, honey, she can't be on that doggone camera for 2 seconds without telling whoever it is she's talking to, whether it's their business or not. Uh, Kirk been trying to get with me. Kirk been saying he'll give me more money if I could sleep with him more. And I agree 1000% with Yandy. Like, how dare you come and tell this news to everybody around Rashida? You should have been breaking your neck. Ooh, excuse me, guys. You should have been breaking your neck to get to Rashida and get her that information. Like after the whole situation with you getting pregnant and Carly bringing you to the surface, because it seems like you wasn't gonna say anything then, and it seems like that's what the text messages she done went from way back yonder and pulled out. Seems like that's what they are suggesting is that Kirk and this makes all the sense in the world, but that Kirk really wanted her to not say anything, stay in the background, and he would take care of the baby, like on GP, right? You don't say nothing. Let's keep it between us, type of thing. That's what it sounds like, and like I said, that kind of makes sense, especially for how it came out. But much to nobody's surprise, Carly Red is the one that goes ahead and takes a screenshot of these messages that Jasmine can't wait for somebody to see and takes it on over to Rashida, which thank God for that because it is very awkward to be talking about this type of stuff and you're not taking it to the person who you know is the one who needs to hear it and it's going to devastate them. Now, clearly, Kirk and Rasheeda are still together, right? We've seen them on social media, and we know that there's a time lapse in which the show is filmed, and it airs, and there's a probably about a 6 months lapse, right? So again, whatever the hell is about to happen on this show, it ain't enough for them to get a divorce. It's not enough for them to separate. And just as of Labor Day, it looks like Jasmine may have been invited to the cookout. And if she was invited to the cookout, it's about doggone time. Because, I mean, they are looking a little like Peter Gunn's Tara and Amina at this point. That is a throuple. But if you're going to co-parent and you're going to co-parent effectively, then it does need to be done in the open, right? Everybody needs to be on board with what's happening. Everybody needs to be involved with the drop off and the pickup and the money being exchanged. And that, like, as far as Kirk go, dude, that's the only way you even come back from something like that. But that's what make people raggedy. Like, that's what make you this raggedy ass man. Because how dare this girl have anything to be able to come back and tell your wife? Now, I know a lot of people are saying that they think the storyline is fake. I don't think that the storyline is fake, but I don't understand if Rashida is committed to Kirk, because that's what I'm getting. Listen, she is not divorcing her husband. And maybe it is because of what they have on the line. Their businesses, maybe, divorce when you have things, when you have assets and property and businesses outside of kids, when you have those things to divvy up and settle, that can be hard for a person to even want to go into. And so, and here's the thing, she still loves this man. That's her husband. It's not wrong for her to trust her husband, even though he has proved himself to not be able to be trusted. However, if you're going to stay with somebody anyway, then you've got to figure out how to retrust them, whether they earn it or not. That's just the reality. So I don't necessarily have these thoughts that she's dumb or anything like that. I understand. She loves him. She's committed to him. She committed to the marriage. They're not going nowhere. So with that being said, I don't understand why she keeps bringing her marriage on this platform and playing with it, because it's not a good look. And with Kirk, like, you just looking like raggedy. Because how many times, Kirk? How many times? You sitting there looking like Goof Troop of the Year with that Gucci vest on and them Gucci glasses, and your eyes probably crossed underneath because you couldn't believe that girl was standing right there in your face with them text messages. Now, everybody around did try to, just kind of smooth it over like, hey, it's a couple words blacked out, like this doesn't prove anything. But from the clips of next week, seems to me that Rasheeda's going to do what she should do, and that's get Kirk's phone, okay, and then check exactly what it says. And it don't sound like it's going to be good. Sounds like he was soliciting Jasmine. Who's shocked? Nobody. Because that's what these raggedy ass men go around doing. I have had a few raggedy ass men in my life. And baby, let me tell you, that character stuff like, if they are doing things that is embedded in their character, like sleeping around with women, that is a character flaw. If you don't have enough discipline to withhold from extracurricular activity when you are in some situation, committed or otherwise, because I think men play a lot of games, going back to JR really quick, men play a lot of games with the whole not being in a relationship and being single deal. Where was all of this I'm single, I'm single, I'm single when y'all was sitting up on Carlos King's couch? See, I kind of figured then that they was lying. So I'm actually not surprised that he pulling the I've been single for the last 6 months card. But that's what make you raggedy, because you probably been all up in their lady guts in these last 6 months too. Now where's that information at, JR? And the same thing with Kurt. One thing I think I kind of, maybe I shouldn't believe it full heartedly, but at least experience has taught me, right? That if a woman is acting out, if she is being emotional, if she is like, if she doing everything she can to get some information out to you, what she trying to get to you is true. It ain't made up. And somebody been playing with her. And that's the reason why she acting like that. It is not fun to be played with. Any female who has been knows that. And as females, we do need to back each other up when we see these raggedy ass men playing with another female. Cause we know what that look like and we know what it feel like. And if you haven't had that experience, then baby, you better thank God. Cause coming across a raggedy ass man will have your man in circles, child. You see Tamar? Sorry, Tamar, we love you, but yeah, you see her. JR, going back where you came from, okay? Kurt, you need to get some counseling. But like I said, with the picture being posted, I think Jasmine had a plate of food, and she like, oh, Kirk and Rasheeda put their foot in it. I think I made a comment like, it's better than putting their foot somewhere else. I'm glad it's in the food. Okay. Uh, but hey, if she was invited to the cookout, and if everybody's getting along great, then great. Because that's really what it also seems like Jasmine was fighting for. Maybe feel dismissed. And I think that Rashida knows that she did that to her, and on purpose, and I guess that's her hurt coming out, you know what I mean? But really, Jasmine is really an innocent bystander to this raggedy ass man. That's the whole point. This raggedy ass man. While I'm on the subject of raggedy ass men, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw Carlos King in the mix. Since JR brought his name up anyway, let's just go to Melanie Cherie, honey, having a little bit of a tiff with Mr. Carlos King. I don't think she said his name verbatim, but she did allude to toxic leadership coming from the executive producers and her not thinking that that's cool, like they should be participating in certain things. I and the rest of the social media world really took it as she talking about Carlos King. And because Carlos King does his podcast and does his Messy Mondays on YouTube, right? With Dr. Heavenly, they get into recapping the show and everything. And I feel like Melanie is referencing the fact that he goes on Messy Mondays and discusses the show and has opinions, and she got hit by a stray because I feel like she thought her and Carlos King had a different relationship. As you notice, Coleslaw is not on there. I'm not going to call that girl Coleslaw. Let me stop. Ariane Curry is not on Love and Mirror Huntsville. I don't think she is in any danger of ever being on Love and Mirror Huntsville, right? At all. Um, and that's due to Carlos kind of respecting Melanie and her wishes, right? But I think that with this last episode and her friend Shanita being around, you can go and listen to the previous podcast about the recap. I think Carlos and Dr. Heavenly expressed some opinions about things, and I don't think she liked them very much, which really kind of sucks, right? But I'm gonna go ahead and throw Carlos in that raggedy ass man, category for this content, for this subject, because Carlos does find himself in some messy positions. And while I think he is really kind of taking a little bit of a blueprint from Andy Cohen, with the whole he has that show. He has well, I guess it didn't get picked up, but he did try to do like a nightly show while his shows were on, and it was similar to a Watch What Happens Live that comes on Bravo. But and here's the thing, and I'm all for seeing Carlos King just be successful in that way. Like if Andy Cohen can do it, I definitely want to see Carlos King doing it also. But there's no denying that Carlos finds himself in the middle of the mess. And that's just what it is. And I think that that is going to be a hard balance to be someone's boss or executive producer. And then you go on the show and you kind of talk about them. And of course, you try to be neutral, but it's hard to be neutral when you have to share your opinions. That's the problem with Andy Cohen. That's why we don't like to see him on the reunions. Now, what I will give Carlos is that when he does his reunions, he actually does ask more of the questions that the viewers want, but that's because he's messy. And see, that's what's going to ruin your relationships with your talent. And you need to be on, you need your talent to be happy with you. I think that works best, right? What y'all think? Listen, y'all, I gotta get ready to get up out of here. But y'all tell me in the comments what you think about that. Go over to my YouTube channel. This podcast will be on the YouTube channel. You can keep up this discussion in the comment section. I will comment back. Again, make sure you are following my podcast. Make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel. If you ever want to know who asked for this, baby, absolutely nobody. But I'm going to tell you anyway. And until next time, have a great day.